Hello, down there. Hello. Can you hear me? Big Bot Bash.
Hi, welcome to the new workshop. By now you've probably already seen the wonderful videos of the Big Bot Bash collaborators, so now you've got plenty of time to watch mine. Terribly sorry I'm a little bit late with my video, but then again life has a tendency to kick me in the testicles. First step, roll a d20 on the bot generator. Okay, let's take a look at what we've got. We start with the body. I rolled Geiger. No, not Alien, then again. Alien, Geiger. I'm not adding sexual symbolism to my bot. For the head I rolled He Looks Dangerous. Arms, Extras. Hands, Kaboom. Legs, Pistons. Flavor, Holy. I'm changing that one to Holy Shit. I'm using a pritt correction roller as a base for the robot. I've got a whole bunch of these. A big thank you, meneer Van Duil. Plenty of fun, little greeblies in these rollers. Pritt engineers obviously know what's up. Time for the build. I'm going to use the outer shell as the outer shell for the robot, or the top part if you will. Gluing a piece to it with a couple of holes. That's really handy because I'm using a bouncy ball. Let's get rid of the top, which is going to represent the body, and it's also handy to attach the legs in a later stage. Adhesives of choice for this project are going to be super glue and hot glue. To build up the body of my biomechanical robot, I'm going to use tin foil or aluminium foil or aluminum foil, whatever you choose. This is a cheap and easy to handle product, very easy to shape into shape, so I get to save on the sculpting material. I want the body of the robot to have a insect type appearance, with a bulge at the end of the body, and a couple of wings where I'm going to attach a couple of plastic components as a anchor point for the arms. This hole at the front is going to be the head of the creature. I'm going to use beads on a stick as a short filling medium. Beads are a necessity, or otherwise Bill was going to come and kick my ass. This whole project was an organic build, meaning don't be fooled with the clean workspace. This was the battlefield I was looking at. Time for sculpting. Had to throw the green stuff away as it went stale. Was way too hard to manipulate, so I used grey stuff by Green Stuff World, which is basically the same idea. A little bit more sticky, quite easy to work with. First thing I did was basically cover the entire model, or at least some parts, with pieces of the grey stuff, and then I used a burnishing tool to get rid of all the seams. And then we have a nice canvas to add detailing to. If you are planning on sculpting, get yourself a couple of these very handy sculpting tools with a rubber tip so they don't stick to the material. The main Geiger inspiration for this project comes with all the rib-like textures that he liked to use in his artwork. So basically a whole bunch of little sausages shaped to look like rib cages. Shout out to Mr. Tom Wood, thank you very much for joining my Patreon. Links below if you want to support the channel. With the sculpting on the main body done, it's time to make some legs. These were very simple, a core of floral wire with styrene tubes in a couple of different sizes. I'm doing a tripod robot because I actually have to make the robot fit on a 40 to 50 millimeter base. In this case I'm using a 40 mil because I actually want to play Bangarang. A piece of bark to simulate a rock sticking out from the ground is going to be desert themed. I once again use tinfoil to build up the shapes. With the basic shape of the base done, it's time to try out some poses. The legs aren't glued in yet. See what I like, see what is possible. The floral wire core makes it very easy to pose the robot, so everything fits nice and snugly. I rolled pistons for the legs. Time to add a bunch of pistons. Very easy. 2 pieces of styrene glued together to form, yeah, you guessed it, pistons. Big pistons on the legs and smaller pistons on the feet. Back to some sculpting. To hide the joints in the legs, one of my inspiration points was the combine from the Half-Life 2 game, where you have a creature that is being repurposed for combat-y goodness. With the sculpting on the creature done, it's time to add a layer of grey stuff to the base. Then it's very easy to simply push in a robot, so I have an anchor point when gluing the robot to the base. Just to make sure that paint is going to adhere to the plastic, I gave the entire model, or at least the plastic parts, a good flaming. Also very handy when making crème brûlée. The weapon systems, very easy, a bunch of plastic little bits and bobs that I had laying around. Small beads. Cardboard detailing. I decided to make 2 different weapon systems. A Gatling gun and a fire thrower. The beads were a little bit too large to attach to the robot, so I changed it up with a smaller model. Made it a little bit more elegant and easier to fit. Because I had multiple arms, I decided to add a couple of small little arms to the side of the head of the beast. And Bob's your uncle. Robot is done. Time for painting. Let's start with a rock on the base, 50% sepia wash, 50% brown wash. The bottom is a layer of structure paste by Nog. Painting was also quite easy, couple of liquid pigments in sandy and soil colors. Black wash on the rock and a dry brush with some stone colors. Simple, easy, looking good. Flattered on the rim of the base, and it's time to start painting on the creature. I went for a very simple color scheme, green and red. However, I want the red on the creature to be quite subdued, so I added in gray. These are all contrast paints. The other base colors for the robot were a light gray-green on the feet and the outer shell of the robot. And gunmetal on all the metal parts. I wanted the organic parts to have a little bit more contrast in regards to the gray-green. So I added a bit more red, a bit more black, and finally a black wash on the entire model, just to get some contrast happening. I also wanted to do some experimentation with my painting. So I used streaking grime and enamel wash. This is quite easy to apply, just smother all the areas you want to grime up with this product and then get rid of the excess with a little makeup sponge dunked in turpentine, which makes it very easy to remove, a luxury you don't have when using water-based paints. Weathering on the metal parts was a couple of washes. Sepia, brown and black. Tamiya clear red for the eye at the front of the head, and the sensor on the top gives a nice little contrast as they are complementary colors. Last steps on the robot is a layer of satin varnish on all the organic parts. The weapon systems were painted in exactly the same way as the main parts of the robot. Glue the robot to the base, and to finish off the base, a little bit of weathering pigments on the whole base and the feet. That's it for this video. I have a cool little bot ready to kick some ass on the battlefield. Big shout out to Bill and all the other collaborators. If you haven't seen any of the videos yet, which I doubt, but hey, links below. See you in a next video here on Dark Matter Workshop, probably with some more robot-y goodness. To the money shots!